joining us this morning is Dick Greco, four-time mayor of Tampa. Good morning. Alex Sink, of course, she's one of the state's chief financial officers of Florida and the Democratic nominee. This was back in the 2010 gubernatorial election. And we also have Dr. Ed Benton, political science professor at USF. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
So the first question I have, let's talk about the announcement this week by Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn that he would not run for governor come 2018. Were any of you surprised by that announcement?
Well, I wasn't, because in politics we all know that you have to have fire in the belly to run for an office, especially an office like governor, and the reasons he gave really rang true. Taking time away from the family, but also it's a full-time job running for governor, and Bob loves being mayor of Tampa, and in the next 2 years, exciting things happening here, so I wasn't really all that surprised.
Either of you?
There's a political reality also that being a mayor of a large city, even of Tampa and the largest media market, is that you have to have a statewide visibility. I'm not sure he had that like a Charlie Criswood or a Bob Graham or someone else who's held office, and even the presumptive Republican nominee, Adam Putnam.
Right, or even possibly John Morgan as well.
Right.
Goodness knows. You can't fire, you have to have fire in the belly.
We know who has that.
Some people think you have to be crazy to run for politics, in addition to having fire in the belly.
And you know,
it was
Dick,
a hard decision for him to make because he loved politics. It's been a major portion of his life.
and he's always said that he loves the city of Tampa, and he said he wouldn't run for governor because he didn't want it as bad as he wanted to be the mayor.
Well, he's got a couple of years left. He's got 2 young daughters. It was a hard decision for him to make, but he probably made the right one.
You know, and I wonder if he's going to run again sometime soon. He's going to be term limited now. Do you think he could be posturing himself for another run as mayor, as you did back in 1995?
Certainly could. He's young enough to do any of those things. I'm sure he'll stay in the political field or be active in it. Bob's done a good job. The city's going great. The next couple of years are going to be wonderful. He's going to be right here taking part in that and gloating in it. He'll be very happy with what he sees.
Alex, what do you think? Could he be posturing himself for another run as mayor or some other position?
Well, of course, he's term limited out for right now, but he's a young man. He could obviously run for mayor again, just like Mayor Greco did. But there are other considerations also. We don't know about Congress. There will be U.S. Senate races in the future. I can easily see Bob, under a Democratic administration, going to Washington. There was speculation that if Hillary Clinton had won, he would have might have gone to Washington. And Bob will be doing public service because that's what he's done since he's been 23 years old.
And Dr. Benton, when I talked with the mayor, when he gave that announcement on Thursday, he seemed very disillusioned with the current administration. And at one point he said that he had the experience, but it's obvious now we're at a point with our president that you don't need experience, is what he was saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Experience is important for anyone, and not being Washington savvy, if I can say it that way, certainly hurts the president. And so Bob Buckhorn is correct, is that perhaps the president doesn't have the tool set of social skills and media skills and political skills to do the job that you would expect of a president, and perhaps that's why he has had such a wild ride to this point.
And the people here, really, the majority of the people here in Tampa really love him. It's an icon,
yes.
Just like
Absolutely.
we describe you as a Tampa icon as well.
I've been around forever. That's the problem.
No, you haven't. Come on. All right.
The first time I ran for mayor was 50 years ago.
And 50 years ago, there you have it. You know what? Let's talk more about the race for governor. Incumbent Republican Governor Rick Scott is term limited, so obviously he can't seek re-election. And so far, only 3 people have thrown their hats into the ring. First, there's the mayor of Tallahassee, Andrew Gillum, who put out a YouTube video when he announced his candidacy. There's also businessman Chris King. And just yesterday, we heard from newcomer Libertarian Randy Weissman. He made his announcement. There's Andrew Gillum right there on that YouTube video. Other names out there, one-term Congresswoman Gwen Graham, Miami Beach Mayor Philip Levine, and then there's personal injury lawyer, as we said before, John Morgan. So Gillum comes to the table with some controversy from Tallahassee, and also no African-American has ever won a statewide election in Florida. Still, a lot of people say Representative Graham would be their favorite here. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it's too early to say, and I think it's going to be a healthy thing, Paul, for we as Democrats to have an aggressive primary. let's get 6 or 7 or 8 candidates out there traveling the state, talking to Democratic groups and the population at large, see how much money they can raise, how many resources. There's a process here, and it'll weed out the field, and we'll be able then to determine who we believe our best, most effective candidate is, who can win the governor's race.
Dr. Benton, do you see the crowd getting larger as we progress towards the race?
Certainly so. The reaction to President Trump is going to grow stronger unless he makes a reversal, and the crowd's calling for someone to counter that force in Washington. Certainly is the case. And as I was thinking back, you said a few minutes ago, there is a precedent for a African-American holding office. Doug Jamieson, the late Doug Jamieson, was one of the last elected commissioners of education. So there is one person that I can recall that was African-American that perhaps could do that. But as you said, Gillum does have his own problems in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and your thoughts on the Republican side? I'm wondering, we have Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam, as well as State Senator Jack Ledvalla and House Speaker Richard Corcoran. A lot of speculation that if he decided to run, that Commissioner Putnam would be the front runner. And it's been reported that he's raised $2 million last month alone. In comparison to what Buckhorn had raised, we were talking about just $100,000. What do we see about Putnam right now, Dick?
He's been working on it for a long, long time, and that's what it takes. By the same token, I agree with Alex said, it's too early to pick a candidate. I'm a registered Democrat, but I vote for the person. I always have. Mainly, some of us know all of them, so it makes it a little different. It's important who we elect to office today. And we've gotten 2 city elections are nonpartisan, but they're beginning to be partisan because the Democratic Party wants a Democratic mayor or a Republican Party. I couldn't care less. I'm American, and we need the best people we can find today.
Do you think?
More than ever before in the history of this country.
Alex, do you think this field will grow larger as well as we said the Democrat field will?
I think it could, just because Donald Trump has rewritten the rules, Paul, for who can run and win, for sure. Adam's been running for governor actually since he was 22 years old on the campus of the University of Florida, and he will be the favorite son of the Republican establishment. But what about the Republican primary voter? And I think Donald Trump is going to be a real factor in any primary, potentially, because that element of the Trump voter is, I don't think Adam's going to really appeal to them. He has a different kind of personality, and it takes a lot of money to run here, so I think all bets are off.
Dr. Benton, what do you think about the Trump effect here?
It possibly could affect it, but I think Adam Putnam can weather that storm. He didn't give up his seat in the U.S. House of Representatives a few years ago to come back to the state to create more statewide visibility by running and successfully running for the Agriculture Commissioner. The other thing, too, to Adam Putnam, going back to his early days, given his roots in Polk County, has a lot of money connections, like Brothers, the agribusiness, as well as others. So he is primed himself for the prime time, if you will, to become governor. He took an unusual step, like some years ago when Lawton Childs left the Senate to come back and run for governor, but the Democrats brought him out of retirement for that to oppose Bob Martinez.
Dick Greco, Alex Sink, Dr. Ed Benton, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you coming into the studio for us bright and early this morning.